What's going on there, agents? How you doing, guys? I want to start this video off by saying thank you with the support on the previous shotgun video. You guys hit over 250 likes in the first 12 hours, and that is ridiculous support. If we can keep pumping that out, I'll keep delivering all the content I can to you guys. It meant a lot to me. It really, honestly does support this channel, and I wanted to give you guys a return to that, and this is my guide to the 870. A lot of people still had questions about talents and what I should look for. This is the build, and you're going to see some gameplay with this build and see that even though this is not an optimized build, this is still a work in progress. It's still incredibly lethal, and I can still one-shot, worst case scenario, two-shot most people. So if you could improve upon this and refine this set, your build could be incredible. So let's start with the basic stuff that you need to know. We're going to go ahead and look at the entire build we got right here. So you see that I'm a little mid-area stagger. We got 120k damage right there. We're going to drop down. The talents we have are brutal, deadly, and responsive. Three of the best talents you can have on a shotgun. These are all about piercing damage. You want to do a lot of damage and as much as you can in one trigger pull. Brutal and responsive, the two best perks, in my honest opinion, that you can have on a weapon. My third favorite is honestly Unforgiving. Unforgiving is extremely underrated, and I think it's one of the best things to have for a shotgun because you're in more danger than you normally would be. You have to get closer to enemies, which means you're going to receive more damage in return. So that ability, that talent, activates far more than you would with some of the other types of guns in the game, like assault rifles, where you're going to be able to keep your distance and not take as much damage. So outside of that, deadly, fierce, competent, other great talents, especially if you have them in the free slot, really good options right there. Now, as for the equipment I have on top of this, we have the extended magazine. Not great by any means, so if you can, aim for about 100% magazine size, 12 to 13% weapon damage would be ideal. For the optic, I've got 21 headshot and crit hit chance. You're going to want to try to mirror those, improve upon them if you can. And for the underbarrel, I definitely recommend accuracy. Stability doesn't hurt, but this thing doesn't have a whole bunch of recoil. It's not got a ridiculous rate of fire. You can really tame this beast with ease. Alright, I want you to pay attention to something real quick. Keep your eye on their health bars. Right here is the perfect example. When I said if you refine this, you added on some more firearms and built up better, look, these guys survive with just a smidge of health every time. Just a bit more firearms, I would have easily one-shot both of those. It doesn't stop there. That guy, he would have been dead too. So just, you see the pattern, right? This is just with a mediocre build. I've got 450k toughness, a lot more than I honestly need. And I'm running 5-piece sentries right now and reckless chest piece. So if you did really well and you know how to optimize that build, you can do far more successful things than I am capable of with this particular build. Now, the 870 is probably the best well-rounded shotgun in the game for PvP. For PvE, you're honestly better off with a marksman rifle or the SASG with sentry because the stacks really do come into play. You don't get many stacks with the 870 just because it's got so much burst. Hopefully they're dead before you get any amount of significant stacks on top of them. As you can see, 1 to 2 shots is generally all it takes. Who cares about sentries in that current condition? So if you're following me, you do not need sentries call with an 870. You can use any other type of build as you want because the 870 is so strong in its base form. Look at that guy. He was a one-shot. Sentries had nothing to do with it. Stay on your knees, peasant. There's just a lot of confidence that you're granted with the 870, but you gotta know how to use it because if you use it wrong, you're gonna get ruined. It's also probably the most skill-reliant weapon in the shotgun category, if not one of the most skill-reliant weapons in the game, because you have to have precision, you have to be smart when you choose your engagements, because now with the 20% buff to PvP, you cannot afford to aim down sight for extended periods of time. You shouldn't pull that trigger and still be aiming down sight until your next shot is available. You are vulnerable during that long-ass waiting period. I don't even have to wait that long at the DMV. It's just ridiculous. So during that period, make sure you're not aiming. So what you do is you quick scope with the 870. You aim down sight, you get the shot, you pull the trigger, you unzoom, and you frolic about. Do what you want, wait for your next window of opportunity, and mop them up. If you notice that he barely survived, do not be afraid to weapon swap to your primary. Sometimes they don't drop in one shot. Sometimes they do. And if they don't, swap out to your SMG, mow him down with hip fire, clear out the remaining health, and take home that kill. So the shotguns are very strong. You just gotta make sure that you wait. You have to be far more patient with this type of weapon than any of the others. SMGs, you carelessly run around and hip fire. ARs, you don't need a lot of finesse or patience with those. Shotguns, you do. It's an entirely different way to play, and you need to know what you're doing. So make sure you quick scope with the 870. Don't get caught aiming down sight, or it's going to be your funeral. So in a weird way, you basically want to wait and be patient for them to make their move. Wait for them to aim down sight and become vulnerable. Wait for them to make a mistake. Learn to path them. That guy pinched between two vehicles. I waited for my right shot and took him out with ease. That is what you need to do. You need to hold yourself still, not get too aggressive, and wait for them to make a mistake. That's all it takes, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Lots more Division content and more breakdowns of the other shotguns in the future. Take care.